and a good rainy Monday morning to you, my hobnobbing Bleecker Street cronut confetti cakes of Monday gloom. But it's going to be a good day and a good week. So coffee cheers to you. It is I, Hallie, with today's weekly reading book review. As you may have seen through my stories and posts, I was at the South Carolina New Play Festival this weekend, which is just overabundance of joy and theater making, and so happy I will save all of that and blog about it tomorrow at Writing Group. So today we are here as usual on a Monday morning to talk about the books I read this week and the books I might read next. So here's take two because my husband forgot I was filming and came in from his studio. So we're gonna try this again. All right, the first book I finished was The Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest by Aubrey Hartman. Look at this stunning cover. This is illustrated middle grade with What I Live For, those deckled edges, and a handful of illustrations throughout. Some of them are a little spooky because forest animals, you know, growl and things are happening in the woods. Our undead fox is, I don't remember his name because I've read like 4 other books since then, but he helps lost souls find which afterlife realm they belong in, pain, pleasure, and there's 2 other ones. Anyway, I'm sorry, Aubrey, it was lovely. So very fabulist, however you say that word, fairy tale of forest creatures, friendship, self-acceptance, etc. Not preachy, it just, like most middle grade, just layers it into the story. So we get these subliminal messages of how to be a better human, so, and empathy, and all those good things that fiction does for us, and books, and reading, and all the happy literary things. So, loved that, The Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest, which is also just fun to say. Okay, also, it's gonna look how gorgeous that's gonna be on your shelves, so enjoy that. Okay, I don't remember, it might have been this week that I finished this one, unless it was last week and I didn't mention it. This is Henry VI, Part 1, in my Brush Up Your Shakespeare 2025 quest, reading through alphabetically, and we are needing to pick up the pace. But I will be illustrating the quote for you from that. I narrowed it down to my favorite selections of quotes, and we'll share those as well. And then, of course, I need to read Henry VI Parts 2 and 3, maybe this week, but I'll tell you why I might not in a second. So here we go, Henry VI. And some good quotes because I like taking them out of context and I love Shakespeare's language. That's all. I borrowed this from my cousin, How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen, Perrin. It did have flashbacks to her great aunt's journals from when she was a teenager, and her great aunt was super paranoid that like someone's gonna murder her because she got a reading from a psychic at a festival, and so her whole life was consumed with conspiracy theories, and there's even like murder boards in her house about who might murder her and why, and she does get murdered. They find her the day that the niece comes to town for the reading of the will, and then there's a contest in her will. She's like, if I'm murdered, one of you two has to figure out who did it, and then you get to inherit. So there is a timeline, a time clock, ticking time clock is, you know, a fiction device to have us build up that anxiety, not the word, but momentum. So anyway, based on the cover, it looks kind of more like a Austen-esque, old school classic literary retelling. It was modern, it is British, it isn't Manor, but I don't think the cover did it any favors, but it was a bestseller. So I guess there's reasons I'm not in charge of things, but it was okay. I might read the sequel, get it from the library or borrow it again. But to me, everyone's reading taste is different. The journal entries slowed it down. I just wanted to stay in the contemporary, but there were clues in the journal diary entries that I guess led to the solving of the murder. I don't know. So anyway, Hallie's opinion. There you go. How to Solve Your Own Murder, Kristen, Perrin. Okay, next one. Probably do not recommend for reasons I will explain. This is Mornings Without Me by the late Myumi Inaba, Japanese fiction and translation. Cute little tiny purple book. Is a great little cover illustration, nice simple ink brush drawing. Unless you can handle death of a pet and very descriptive medical issues of caring for said aging pet, do not read this book. So again, I don't like goopy, gory, gooey. There's a reason I did not become a brain surgeon, is I can't handle this. So, especially pet loss and aging pet and just ew. So I liked that it was set in Japan. I liked that she loved her cat. I liked that she was an author, but I didn't need to know how her cat was dying. Hallie opinion for you, okay? So there's that. Be warned, if you love pets, maybe don't read it. Okay, the next one I finished. Now for something completely different, but again with the deckled edges, which I love. This is Growing Home by Beth Ferry and illustrated by the Fan Brothers. This I'd say is a nice transition book between chapter books and middle grade. So for your younger middle grade readers, this is lightly illustrated, like sometimes the chapters were one page, like even at the midpoint, they're like, take a snack break. And she came from a picture book background, so the language is fun and plays with the English language, homophones and such. There's lots of random trivia and sidebars throughout, but there's 2 plants, a goldfish, a canary, a bee, and a spider, as well as the family who are antique dealers and in debt. So it sounds like a lot of plot for a slim book, but she did it so well, and it's just a beautiful book. I happened to see this at Barnes & Noble, couldn't leave it behind because it was pretty and squatty, and again, the deckled edges, which I live for. But look, so I don't know if this is a B&N exclusive edition, but look at those shiny stars on the naked cover. I love it, and you know, love an illustrated end pages too, even if they're just repeats from inside. So this is Growing Home. If you like plants, if you like goldfish, if you like family drama and inanimate objects that are talking and apparently the humans can't hear them unless they're singing, I don't know. Suspension of disbelief. All for it. You know, I'm a theater nerd, so I have to embrace the suspension of disbelief. So this was okay. Everything, also all the things had little hats, which was funny. So Growing Home, I read it. Beginner, or like easy middle grade, early middle grade, light middle grade, before you get into the super big middle grade novels. Great book. Okay. Currently listening to. So my dear beloved car Bessie is back in the shop, but Dad let me borrow his Myrtle the Turtle car to get around to the theater this weekend. So in the car, driving back and forth to all the theaters in town, all but 2 maybe. Anyway, this is the DALLERGUT Dream Department Store by miye, which yes, I read last year, I believe. I think it was a year ago. The sequel's out, so I have to re-listen to it on Hoopla, my library audio app, before I read the sequel. So I have a few hours left in that. Hopefully we'll be able to listen to that while I'm in my studio today making art. So enjoying that. Again, I have questions, and maybe I missed it in my listening because I'm not a great audio learner, but maybe she'll cover some questions I have in the beginning of the sequel. So currently listening, great narrator, enjoying that if you like audios. Currently reading, this is The Islands of Elsewhere by Heather Fawcett. I'm obsessed with her middle grade. So Heather Fawcett, you may recognize that name from the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies trilogy, which is her adult fantasy that's been making a splash. Came out last year or the year before, which I loved. Haven't read the next 2, but did love the first one, just haven't got to it. But I found and fell in love with her middle grade books. So very much reminiscent of, like, if you put Polly Horvath, one of my faves, and Natalie Lloyd, another one of my faves, in a blender, you might have something like Heather Fawcett's middle grade. So it's slightly magical and just delightful to read. These 3 sisters are visiting their grandpa for 3 weeks in the summer before their dad picks them up for summer camp. And they have cool names like Plum. Their little brother, baby Theodore, goes by Door, and it's just cute. Anyway, they're on this island. They find out their great-great-grandma was a pirate who robbed from the rich to give to the poor. And so they're searching the islands that they can access when the tide is out to see if she left any treasure behind, so her mom can quit her job and they can move and take care of grandpa, who's starting to get Alzheimer's, I think. Ooh. So heavy topics, but lightly told. We know kids can handle more than we give them credit for, and I'm doing my best. So anyway, The Islands of Elsewhere, just a delight. I'm not that far into it, but I do love her writing and her fiction, and really loving that one. Also love the cover. And the chapter headers have a little bit of art on them. Cute, right? Love it. Okay. Yay, Heather Fawcett, and thank you for writing middle grade. Okay, reading next. Next week's book club that I run. This is our pick of the month, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I have yet to talk to someone who has read this book and didn't love it. So I'm going to start that one, which means it might be a light reading week because this one's pretty hefty. I've also heard the audiobook is fantastic. And, Ken. It's not, the guy who played Ken, Ryan Gosling. He's, I guess, doing the movie next year. So maybe we'll all run out of theater. Book club will run out of theater and heckle. But anyway, so reading that this week for book club next week. So that'll take me a bit. And also have a couple books from the library I may or may not get to. Drama, the graphic novel, because you know I love a theater book, and you know I love middle grade. And this one it's a $30 hardcover, and it's really tiny, so I didn't want to buy it. So Murder Takes a Vacation by Laura Lippman. It has these weird tags on it because I requested it from the library and just picked them up. So we'll see if I read that one this week too. And coffee cheers. So do we need a coffee break? You can pause this video, take a coffee break. Also from my beloved Evelyn Sky, if you saw my reel last night, she mailed me the stickers that I made for her. Well, I made the art and gave her the art because when you hire me to make art, I give you the original art because I ain't got room to store it. So anyway, these 2 stickers I got to make for her as she sends out signed book plates for her new book that comes out tomorrow, The Incredible Kindness of Paper, which is an adult fiction, slightly magical, etc. So I got to make these cute little kitty and doggy reading stickers for her. You can see the process in my last video and on her Substack and the crayon box everywhere. And I'm so happy I got to make these for her. So if you yourself need a sticker or some other promo material for your upcoming book, play, whatever, call me. Don't call me. Email me. That'd be great. Okay, I'm gonna have more coffee and some breakfast, and I love you, and I'd love to know what stories you're reading, loving, enjoying, and we will talk more art and books and stories and things soon. Okay? Bye.